Hello, welcome to the Peter Repeater, episode 46. That took a while to compute because I've not done an episode in such a very long time, and I'm very happy and very pleased and very blessed to be back here from my little time away from the high life of YouTubing and the notoriety and the stardom. I thought I needed to take a break from my mental well-being, and here I am yet again, back to what I love doing the best, which is pursuing content online and just creating a nice ecosystem. So episode 46, how are we going to do this? How are we going to negotiate this? Well, it's fairly simple. Hopefully I've got the episode number right, but that's okay, even if we don't get it right. Should we just check? Let me just check. So if we go on YouTube Studio and we just check that I'm episode 46 of the Peter Repeater, because this is quite important. Live. Yeah, we're episode 46. I haven't done one since. So what's this episode going to be about? Well, let me tell you. We have got a right host of things to talk about. First of all, Liverpool are playing this weekend. Joe Gomez, whatever his name is, has injured his knee training for the England team. So we've lost another of course, me and the Liverpoolian squad. That I'm not a part of, but I am a part of, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we only have one senior central defender that's fit, because Virgil van Dijk's also injured. So that just leaves Matip and some under 21-year-old baby who can play okay, but not to the quality that we need to win the league, obviously. So trying times. I just hope that Van Dijk gets back to full fitness, and out of all the defenders to get injured, Van Dijk is the one that we value the most. So, and also Gomez, those are the top two, and the third guy's fit. So, I suppose that's like a 1 in 3 chance if two of them are injured, but there we are. That 1 in 3 chance means we're stuffed. Not that I know that Gomez is definitely better than Matip, but something to consider. So mindfulness is important. I think meditation, but it's also being comfortable in yourself and having your focus energy that you can spend in things that contribute to your well-being. So for me, that's watching a podcast. I love a good podcast that makes me laugh, makes me think, makes me not look at the time, and I can just focus on what's important. And all those things are important to me, podcast wise, and I'm very happy to be there. So what are we doing here? We're just recording a podcast, and we're just going to put our thumbprint just to make sure that it is recording. Yeah, we're just recording a podcast here. We're just going to focus on what's important. The focus energy is going to go on the daily events. So US election happened. Joe Biden won. He's finds it difficult to stay young and youthful the whole time, considering that he's 78 going on 79, and it's just you're an old guy in the office, and he should be in retirement. He should be in a little bungalow off the highway. I don't know what I'm saying, but he should just be in his restful years of his life, and then he's gonna go ahead and do one of the hardest jobs in the world, be the American president. And I follow the American way of life more than I ought to, probably, but as all the good podcasts are in America, so you kind of get stuck there online, and you're thinking, oh, should Joe Rogan's friends be moving to Texas should that be happening, and all the rest of it. So it's just a bit of a bonanza of American happenings, and here I am in good old England, and I've got in Cornwall. I can mention the state, I suppose, and then I'm here just spending my life elsewhere online, and my focus energy is going into places I care about, and you end up following the US election more than you do politics in your own country. Yeah, though I do remember having a little bit of a delve into the speeches and everything of when I was voting. I voted for Labour. I'm a good person. I vote for stuff because I care. More than that, it's just because you can vote, you might as well. It's just quite a bit of fun when you haven't voted before and you're growing up. It's one of the fun things that you can do is vote. Lots of people went out voted for the US election. Like, how do I know that? It's just I shouldn't know that. They shouldn't be a part of my happenings, but it just is. And here I am. I realised that I should have done a clap at the start of this podcast to make sure that things are running well, but never mind. I say that a lot in conversation, but I don't talk to people very often, so I don't know what my go-tos are. I suppose that's the thing about my life, is just that I keep to myself a lot, and I don't interact with people that much. Well, it is a lockdown. So happenings in my life is that I've struggled mentally and I've been admitted to hospital, and now I've got a year before being a student because I deferred a year, and I've got a year of not a lot to do, which is kind of good because I need the recovery, because sometimes I get anxiety and everything. But having the year, spending time to myself and just sort of carrying my body to a time where I can be useful and just looking after myself. Because something to think about is, to get to a point in the future, or to get to where you are now, you have to have lived every single moment in the past. You have to have lived that. You have to make it through all those days to get to today. So it's not quite the what you want to hear about my purpose, but my purpose in a way is just to go through the days and look after myself, so I am ready and able to do things when the time comes for it. Yeah. So hopefully all that helps out, all that checks out, and I can fully focus on the student life. It's not necessarily the life part, but it's the studying, and I think I'll be alright because I'm just at home doing a local course, and it's going to be 3 years, and being a student, I tell you, is a dream. I love being a student. It's not perfect, you still got assignments, you still got stuff to do, but the pressure when all that matters is your own grade, compare that to being in an office and you've got responsibilities and you've got to make the most out of everything, and you've got people relying on you and things can break down. And yeah, it's just student life is a lot less stress, there's a lot less relying on you doing well, which I find good and important. And I just like the lifestyle of studenting, and I've signed up more of it because I realise I think I can manage a student doing work every week and coursework and paying attention in class. Like, it's quite a nice life going to college. I used to love going to school and going to college and stuff, and I get to do it again. I'm blessed. Would I be happy doing it now? Probably, but because of my mental health, I had to delay a year. It's the third time I've delayed a year as such, but I make the most out of it. I just have a good outlook on how things are going well, even though when you can clearly see that on paper they look like they're not going well because you've got gaps in your CV and stuff. But I care less about that and more about what I want to do. And what I want to do is just be a student in a year's time. That sounds like the best thing I can do, and it's something that I'll look forward to now, and I'll live every moment of the day and get to the next moment where I can be okay and everything's fine. So considering all of that, I just feel that I can get back to podcasting. Making podcasts as well as watching them. It's very exciting. I hope that I can do more of this. I'm not gonna go through a fine-tooth comb and edit this video, but I can just upload it, and hopefully it all checks out and everything's worthwhile. I enjoy my time as a student, and I enjoy my time as a podcaster. I started this podcast saying how well everything was going, and and things didn't go well, but that's okay. I bought myself a little bit of time. People can understand that I don't need a job and I don't have a job, and that's a really peaceful place to be. But it has its drawbacks, like you don't go anywhere unless you go out yourself. You don't have a ecosystem of friends and having a foot in what's happening in the world and being present with people and having conversations and stuff. These things are good to have, and I want that. I want to make jokes in class and be funny and meet people. I do want that, and that's why I signed up to be a student. Retrospectively, I can see the benefits now. But obviously the student idea was to hopefully do something that's useful and then get a job. Because I've been a bit slow about being a student, it means I've actually picked the degree that actually works. There's a need for jobs. I've got a computer degree and there's computer jobs in Cornwall, software development. So that's where I'm going to put all my eggs in that basket and just go off with it. And I look forward to learning stuff. But it is November and I've got to make it till September. Not 2 months ago September, but in 10 months time. I can do it. I believe in myself. I just got to keep sane, keep happy, look after myself, create some sort of routine where I can do the things I love and just be content about it. And that's really where my heart's at. Let's look at the time here. Okay, we haven't done that all that much, done a little bit of this podcast. So what are we going to talk about? Well, let's just go through what I like to watch at the moment. I like to watch Andrew Schulz. He's a funny comedian. He's got 2 podcasts he does, and one of them I pay for on Patreon, and I get an extra podcast a week. So I get a podcast from Flagrant 2, which is a comedy podcast where you have 4 guys talking with each other and they're funny and they talk about real life events, and they do 2 hours on a Tuesday and 2 hours on a Friday. I pay for the one on the Friday. And then Tim Dillon, I can watch him Sunday morning. That's a good one to watch, and I can listen to his extra episode on a Wednesday. And then Brilliant Idiots, they do one. It comes out Thursday, Friday sort of time. they're a good one to watch, and I'm looking forward to having that one to watch. And I've got one to watch this evening, and I'm pretty happy with that. Got my Friday Patreon at Flagrant 2 podcast. They just do a really good podcast. I'm really happy with watching it. And then what fills in the rest of my time is Joe Rogan. He'll sometimes do a 3-hour podcast with somebody that I like, and that'll fill in my time. But recently I have bought a lot of self-help books, and there's also self-help videos online. They're a good watch, and I'm happy about that, and I hope that I can help myself pass the time. No. More than that, I've got a book here about money, and I've got 4 books by the same author. One of them is about money, other things about helping your life and stuff. And I've also got just a couple of books on like work, and I've got like 6 books on my Kindle, sort of about life and happiness and maybe habits. And sometimes you read a book and you get quite a lot out of it, but other times they don't really talk about anything substantial. But I just want to finish books and read them, and I think reading books is a easy thing to do, and it helps you out in becoming a more well-rounded person, and it's a good way of passing the time. So this time of my life is bizarre. I suppose I've had to withstand the coronavirus situation, which is basically the reason why I lost my mental health, because I stopped taking my medication, and it also got me worried about stuff. Probably just the medication, to be honest, because I didn't want to go and stand in a line with everyone. Which hindsight, I probably should have just gone and stand in a line with everyone, but I wasn't to know. I like the fact that once I do my student life, it will be without all this coronavirus stuff, hopefully, and they'll have a vaccine, and they'll have herd immunity, hopefully in a year's time, so I can just focus on going to college rather than all this mask wearing stuff. There's lots of things that are probably going to stay around for a while, even though there's not any pandemic stuff in the news or stuff. There'll still be the odd person wearing a mask in 5 years' time because they've got a cold, or they're like paranoid and super sensitive to people sneezing and stuff. So you probably, now that everyone's got a mask, it's like you're going to see people wearing them. And I've got a really good quality mask, but it's not my favourite to go out of my way and go outside and wear them. I kind of wish that I didn't have to wear a mask, but I'm not in a position where I go out much anyway. It's just difficult to breathe, and you can't see people's faces. Yeah, making friends is difficult if everyone's wearing a mask. Hopefully we can all take our masks off this time next year, and we can just... I miss making people laugh. It's probably a thing I miss about my life at the moment, because I don't go out and about and meet many people. I don't have that comedic resonance with me and my listeners. It's just a bit bizarre. So, considering all that I've been through, I probably deserve a break. But you kind of get used to the break. You can sort of get lost in it and feel that you aren't able to do anything. But I feel okay about what I'm going into, because as I've said, being a student is nice and it's really easy comparatively to other things. It's just do your work, and if you don't do the work, you don't do as well, and that's all there is. So I'll just do the work well and then be happy about it. And there's the rewards system of doing stuff and people saying how good it is, and there's a certain niceness about that, getting complimented about how good you've done something. I wish I had more of that in my life. I'm basically institutionalised to being a student, and I want to do it as much as possible. I like being in the classroom and things happening and it's not in your control. I like that, when it's not in your control, when the teacher has a plan and you don't have to worry about wasting your time or getting nothing done. The teacher has a plan and will direct you towards what you need to be doing. And I find that very comforting. There's something in me that can write coursework, that can just make up stuff to write, even when there's nothing to write about. I'm able to do that. It's quite a skill. Because in my past course that I did, I was just looking at a piece of paper and I didn't really understand what I was saying, but I still write about it. Still say something. Yeah, I like doing that. Writing about something you don't really care about and you don't really understand, but you've got to fill out the key words and try and make sense of it. Even though it's difficult to make sense. Like one unit I did on a course, I didn't understand what it was about, and my teacher didn't understand, and I basically reworded what was already on the internet, and maybe I did reword it. I didn't copy and paste too much, but I reworded what was on the internet about it, and that sufficed, and it went well. They were learning stuff and I was learning stuff, but I might have got the wrong topics on the internet, might have messed that up. So we'll just see what's happening with the world. The world's a crazy place. People rioting now. Don't know what about. In America there's like Black Lives Matter, but there's also just rioting about against the federal government. It can be a bit weird. Yeah. I just hope that the world stays in one piece, so I can have a relatively peaceful time and different kind of peace, and just go about my day, go about my life, get home and watch a podcast. The fact that I can fill up my time with podcasts now, when I have so much time to fill up, is a good test. It's a good, it looks good, is a good indicator that I will be able to fill up my time when I have less time to fill up. And that's really useful to have in your arsenal. Is just go to entertainment that's regular, because I watch the podcast and there's 2 episodes of Flagrant 2 a week, and you can count on that because they're very good at doing it. And you can't count on like watching your favourite programme forever, because you eventually run out of episodes. So I found something that I'm happy about, and something that I like, and something that's regular that you can count on. And they'll probably have episodes for years to come, hopefully. Hopefully they don't give up on it. Can't see why they would, because it's going well. They make the most out of everything. This is Flagrant 2 with Akash Singh and Andrew Schultz. And they have 2 other guys. One guy, Alex Media, and Mark Gagnon. And yeah, it's just a good place to be. Very good place to be. So who's doing my video? Me. I'm doing my video. No one else. It's just me and my video. It will say after a podcast, video by Alex Media, video by Peter Newing. Could be. Really could be. Maybe I should make a intro for the Peter Repeater. That'd be a bit fun. Probably should do that. The Peter Repeater, have fun. Yeah, I might as well have a logo as well. It's probably the way. It's probably the move. Or I just start straight away. I don't need an introduction. Joe Rogan podcast by night, by day, by night. I don't know what that. Joe Rogan has an intro. I don't have one. Well, I don't think Flagrant 2 has much of an intro. So I can add it in later. Add it in post. That's the idea. But if it had an intro, it'd be a bit of fun. We'll see. We'll see how much time I have in my hands and everything. You think you have time on your wrist with the watch, but it's time in the hands. I suppose because the hands are useful and it's part of your body and there's lots of time to be had. So anyway, speaking of time, I've got nothing to say after that. Speaking of time, it's good time to be alive. Even when there is all this worry about pandemic stuff, because I've got a comfortable life and I'm fairly happy about everything and I can just make the most out of my situation, make the most out of my life, and it just feels really good. And hopefully I can just be happy. That's the dream. Just be happy, and I'm happy, very happy. Couldn't say why. It's just I like my routine. I get up, I have breakfast, watch a podcast, have a shower, do the dishwasher, eat lunch, and then I've got free time. I can read books, I can play games, I can make a podcast, I can do all sorts. And I find it very appetizing that I can do all these things and just be happy about the production side of things. I haven't got a logo. I should get myself a logo. I wouldn't know what the logo would be, just the Peter Repeater. Most podcasts just go straight into the podcast. Maybe that's what I should do. Follow suit, follow the others. Yeah, what do I prefer? I prefer going straight in there. Straight into the podcast. So basically, I say a phrase and I don't know anywhere to run with it. I like watching Liverpool play. It's quite nice to feel like a sense of you're part of what's happening, watching them play, rather than just following the results and just, oh yeah, that was the game, that was the score, but I didn't see what the goal was like. I don't like that. So I watched the game. I've got the sports package, pretending I'm in Canada, and it's a lot cheaper. And also you can watch all the games rather than, because they let other nations watch all the games, and at your own nation that they only let and your own nation doesn't even let people watch all the games, even though it's our country, it's our football. You have to go to Canada with a virtual private network to get access to what you want. So I've been budgeting. I get my income for being not able to work and stuff, and is budgeting to try and save money, try not to spend money. It's all about spending less money than you make. I do that. I into my cryptocurrencies. That's what I've been doing since I last came here. I'm definitely into my cryptocurrencies. I know which ones I like. I like Cardano, which is ADA abbreviated somehow. Cardano, Dash, Chainlink and Ethereum. I like those ones. They like me too because they're going up. Yeah, so I've got an amount there, and I've got stocks and shares. I have Spotify, Tesla, Microsoft, PayPal, CVS Health, Alexion Pharmaceuticals or something, and Beyond Meat. Yeah, so I've got tech companies that I like, that I think are undervalued for the long term. And yeah, don't know about Tesla. I don't know if that's undervalued. Seems to have gone up quite a lot, but it's all good. It's all good to be into my podcasting and everything, and I hope that I can make the most out of the world that I'm in, the life that I have. Yeah, I've got a lot of life to live. I think I try and do as little as possible and still be able to get by. I think that should be my aim. It's not a big aim, but it's just one day I'll probably have to have a job, but it's just making sure I do 4 days a week instead of 5 days. And just being able to enjoy my time off and not being, or just have a job that I really like. That is possible. I haven't had that before. Having a job that you really like. I look forward to that. That's kind of why I'm doing my studenting, my learning, to try and get a better job when it comes of it. So it's a win-win. I get to be a student, which I love, just being in the class and everything, and then also I get to just have a better job afterwards because of being a student. So it sounds all good. I've got a long-term plan. Not everyone has that. I should feel blessed. And my mental health didn't screw it up, because I can delay things a year. I didn't got my mental health episode out of the way so I can stay on medication and just get my head down and study for 3 years. It's better to, be unwell before a course than be unwell during a course. So I was pretty lucky how that worked out. You don't think about the good parts of your life when something bad happens, but usually there's a good swing on. There's a good way of viewing stuff, that you could just see it in a positive light, and see it for something good rather than just something bad. Like, I had a knee injury, but it got me into making videos, which the rest is history, obviously, because my channel is just amazables. But yeah, I'm just happy with my abilities in life and what I have in the future. Student for 3 years and a more interesting job. And what I have in the present is no job, no pressures to get one. People can just be happy with me being me, and live every moment of this year so I can live every moment of next year. I like doing that. Something calming about it. Going through the days and just being entertained, and hopefully I can entertain y'all. You will. I entertain everyone. As an American, y'all. Entertain y'all. You will. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be alright. So, what does the time say? I was going to edit this podcast and just get the more interesting parts, but that is too much effort. So I'm just going to upload it. I got the microphone on my shirt here, so there's a little bit of syncing up the microphone with the video, but besides that, it's all perfect. Everything works perfectly, and I'm happy to be a part of it, really. Just happy to be part of the ecosystem of YouTube, and just be a video that's available for people to watch. So what have I covered? I covered that I watch a lot of podcasts, and I'm happy about that. And I covered that I've had mental health issues, but I'm better now, and I should stay better because of medication and everything. So I got that out of the way. And then I've also said I've got my future planned out with being a student, and I'm pleased about that situation, and I'm pleased about my own situation now. The fact that I can get up and do things that I like and make the most out of opportunities and like that too. So all things combined, I'm pretty good at everything, really. Everything's all good. I suppose the only thing is sometimes I have moments of anxiety, but they usually don't last forever. And I'm pleased to say that I've had a pretty good week, actually, of not being anxious at all. Or maybe a little bit for once, for like sort of getting there, but not quite. Last night, but I've had like 4 days which have been mostly good, which is a blessing. It's all part of the recovery process, because there's quite a lot to recover when you've had a big episode of mental health and lost it a little bit. You have to steady the ship afterwards and look after yourself, which I am doing. Very happy about that. So, is this where I advertise my book? Yeah, I might as well. I did write it. Not that I agree with the sentiment of the book. So my book is called An Unbelievable God by Peter Nearing, and it's got my face on the back there, and it reads well. It reads like a conversation, I've been told, and I'm an author, so I should be proud of that. But bearing in mind that months after I wrote that book, I ended up in hospital. So things going through my mind weren't necessarily settling for me. Being unsure about God, not very settling. But at least I got it on a page, got 29,000 words for people to read. I'd give it a read if you're on Amazon. An Unbelievable God by Peter Newing, Newing. Yeah, I like that. I've got a book to plug in my own podcast. That's a bit of fun. So all things considered, we're at the closing stages of this session, the Peter Repeater number 46. I've had a good time, actually, and hope I can just be content and just be able like the energy to make videos. Actually, I feel like that would be a good part of things and a good part of my life, just having the energy to do stuff, and I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope I've kept you company, and I'm pleased to say that this podcast is gone pretty well. I'm gonna give it another 30 seconds because I want the length of the video to be 40 minutes. So I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm in high definition, and I in good spirits at the moment. Yeah. And more good spirits to come, more episodes coming your way. Keep tuned. More gaming, more podcasting. Thank you very much for watching. Alright then. What would you say? Bye for now. Let's stop this at the same time. Bye bye.